welcome back to my channel. So I've been gone for some months. I haven't posted a video in quite a few months, and that's just because I've been working non-stop and I've been in class for the summer. So work and class has just been a lot, but now I'm finally done with my summer class. So yeah, here I am. So a video that I said previously in one of my other videos is I would do a experience of being an RA video at Clemson University. So today that's what I'm gonna give you guys. Okay, so one, the hiring process. I'll talk about the hiring process, and then what you do when you get hired and what you do in the beginning, and then your actual job and how you close out your job. So first, the hiring process. Okay, so one, the hiring process, I was really nervous, really nervous, because one, I'm really shy and I get really anxious when I have to talk to other people, and I'm just sitting here trying to think of what kind of questions are they gonna ask me and how exactly I'm gonna respond to them. So so for the hiring process, before the hiring process, you'll go to like a meeting. You'll attend a meeting and you'll fill out an application. Once you do that, you will go through the process. So first, when you get there, whatever, I think they give you a certain day, so in a certain time. So when you get that day and time, first thing you will do is you will be in a room with an RA. You'll sit at a table with them. But I'll just talk about my process. So I sat at a table with an RA. You could ask them any type of questions, and they would tell you like what they do or what they experience and stuff like that, and just how the job goes for them. And they're just kind of saying stuff like, oh, you'll do great, da, da, da. They're just trying to encourage you so you can calm down, so your nerves aren't bad. So that part was like maybe 15 minutes, and then right after that they'll take you somewhere. It's like this really big room, but you'll be sitting either outside the room or inside the room, off from like where they're asking questions. So they will then, once you are sitting where you're sitting, so either in the room or outside of the room, they'll call you in one by one and they'll place you in front of an interviewer. So you will be interviewed by one RA and one, either, I think it's community director. So either an RA and a community director, or a community director and a graduate community director. Wow, that's a mouthful. But they will ask you all types of questions like, tell me about yourself, why do you want this job, what does community mean to you, stuff like that. But yeah, they just ask you maybe like 10 or so questions, and just honestly just answer them to the best of your ability. That's what I did, and that's what I expect everybody else to really do, because you're pretty much, well, I wouldn't say you're pretty much guaranteed a job, but you're almost guaranteed a job. So then once that process is over, I think it's like maybe a week. I could be so very wrong, because I really don't remember how long they took to turn around and tell us like, oh, you've been accepted, or oh, you're on the wait list, or whatever. So with my interview after mine, and I got my email saying if I was hired or not, I was on the wait list. I guess that's what they call it. I really don't remember. But I ended up getting hired anyway, because I guess they didn't have enough RAs, or enough people didn't say yes or whatever. Maybe they were short staffed. But yeah. So after that, I was able to accept, and the people who are originally accepted, they go to an RA kickoff. I'm not sure if it was that night or like some nights after that, but people who are accepted in the first email, they go to an RA kickoff, and it's mandatory for people who are going to be new RAs. It's mandatory, and it's also mandatory for returning RAs. So yeah, I don't know what that's like at all. I've never been, because I didn't get the acceptance, and I'm not returning as an RA next year. So I don't know what the RA kickoff looks like, what it has, none of that. So I wouldn't be able to tell y'all about that. Okay, so the next thing is being accepted if you weren't originally accepted. So once you're accepted, after you've been waitlisted, then you really just chill. You just fill out your information about like how you want to be paid, like your bank account, routing number, and all of that. And then for me, my like everything happened during the pandemic, so we didn't go back to school. We did all of our like meeting stuff online. So during the summer, we had this one meeting. It was like 1 or 2 days, and it was pretty much all day. It was training. So the training was online at home. So it wasn't fun, but it was better than having to get up and walk across campus or whatever to train that way. So I'm kind of glad it was that way, because I would not have been able to get up at the time that they wanted me to get up. So I think it started at 8 and it ended at like 5, but you had like an hour break and a 30-minute break between, because it's like 3 or so different sessions within the time. So yeah, it's a lot. So you'll have like you'll start a Zoom session with all the RAs that were hired, and then you'll break down and be in a Zoom with just the people you're gonna be working, well, maybe like the west side of campus and the east side of campus. So it can be broken down that way, and it can also be broken down to just your community. So there are many different Zoom meetings that we had to be in for the, I think, 1 or 2 days that it was. And then training was done, and we got paid for training. So pay, you get at least $200, at least. It was like $280, I think. Maybe it was like $280 every 2 weeks. So every other week you got paid. So the next thing that comes up with being an RA is moving. So with moving, you will move in, I think, 4 days to a week early, or earlier than all of the other residents, because you got to get situated yourself. And when other residents move in, you're gonna have to help them move in, get their keys, get their ID, their ID card, their school card, and just help assist them to their room or which building they may be in, and just a whole bunch of directioning, honestly, and just assigning keys, helping people get in the building, just in case, like the well, depending on what building they're in, but depending on the building, you could have to keep opening the door because their cards may not work, one, and they may not have done the all access. So like, I was in Holmes and McCabe, so our doors, they lock. So you gotta have a key to get in the building. You have to have your identification card to get in the building. So if you don't have that, you're not getting in the building. So just helping people get their card to work, give them their keys. During because it was COVID time. So apparently, normally you will help residents move some stuff in, but since COVID, we did not do that. We just told them, hey, you can put your stuff, you can take your stuff out of your car, put it right by your car, and just load things up one at a time to take to the room. And that works well for people. Another thing is, cars were only allowed to be there for maybe 30 minutes. I think it was 30 minutes. So some of us were outside, directioning where people can park, determining how long they've been there, like right a time to see, like, oh, you've been here for, like, this is when you got here. Look to see when their moving time is. They'll normally have a sheet in their car, hopefully, and it'll tell them when they got there. And they have 30 minutes to move in. Once the 30 minutes are up, they have to move their car. They can come back and finish moving in. But yeah, moving, it was hectic. It was really, really hectic because it was just a very long process. I think moving was like 3 or 4 days. So you got to be mindful about that. It's a lot. You got to get up early, really early. Like, you got to be up at 6 because everything kind of, well, depending on where you're going, like if we're going to, like, since it was COVID, we had to go to a certain lot to distribute keys. So that's how we distributed our keys for this year. Well, the past year, we would tell people to go to a certain lot, get their keys from there, and come to Holmes and McCabe to move their stuff in. So that's how it worked the past year. But normally we would just go to our assigned community and get it from the front desk or wherever they have the keys. But since COVID, they did things quite different. So after moving, one thing that you might want to do is just introduce yourself to residents. I introduced myself to a few residents because I'm really shy and I was just getting anxiety knocking on people's doors. I was like, oh my God, like I really don't want to introduce myself. But I did to some of the residents. I maybe knocked on like 5 or so doors and introduced myself. And, just let them know where you live, your name, and let them know if you need anything that they can come knock on your door. That's what I did. And yeah. So eventually you will start getting more information about like what you need to do. So eventually your community will, well, not your community, but your community director will decide when y'all will have staff meetings. Staff meetings are every week at a certain time. Every week, certain time. And you also have one-on-ones, and that's every other week with your CD 1 week, and your CD is your community director, and your graduate community director another week. So the next time you have a one-on-one, and that goes for the entire semester. And so eventually you will get a list of all your residents' names. You will have to send out emails, just informing them of what could be going on, like community events, newsletters. Newsletters are so pointless because the residents don't read them. I promise you, I didn't read them freshman year or sophomore year, and my residents didn't read them at all when I was an RA. So they're so useless, but for some reason we got to do them. Emails are just, you'll email them for whatever information that they need to know. Hopefully they read it. A lot of them probably won't because it's kind of pointless. Another duty that you will have is desk duty and on-call duty. So desk shift, pretty simple. You'll have it 3 hours, at least 3 hours out the week. Just depending on your community and how many RAs y'all have. So I only had 3 hours for both semesters because I just did not like sitting at that desk. It was just so boring. But it is a good thing because you can get a lot of work done, like a lot of schoolwork. That's the time when you just can get everything done, honestly. So I did like it for that, but it's like if I didn't have anything to do, it's kind of like, bored, you know. But other than that, that's you just there to whenever a resident is locked out, you help them. You can look up who they are, give them a key to their room, and yeah, so you're there for the residents when they need a key. If there's some issue, like if some issue is occurring, they can come to you. So let's say like somebody knocked an exit sign down. So this has happened to me. So you can't, because exit signs are essential. So you have to go up to the floor, check it out, take a picture of the damage, and you'll write an IR. And that's an incident report. IRs are not fun. They are so lengthy and so detailed. I hate them. But some are essential, some are not. But yeah, so that's what desk is for, just to be there for the residents during the day. And then, what I say? Not night shift. What is it called? On call. On call. So on call is, it's like desk, but it's not. So on call starts at 7:30 p.m. And if you're on call with one other person as well. So it's two of y'all that are on call. At least in my community, it's two people. So it'll be two people on call, and what y'all will do is be there for the residents, basically. So at night, you will do 2 community walks. So wherever your community is, mine was Homes and McCabe. So we walked each floor of both buildings one time earlier in the night. So maybe like 7 or 8, and then another time like 9 or 10. And so yeah, you just make sure that there's nothing really going on, no loud noises, because quiet hour started 10, I think it was. And so you're just trying to make sure nobody's too loud, just making sure everything's okay, nobody's hurt, nothing like that. Just solve problems that may happen while you're on your walk. You know, just making sure everything's in place. There's nothing, you know, crazy going on in like maybe the common areas or the laundry rooms. Make sure the laundry rooms are good. Nothing is overflowing or broken. You know, just making sure things in the community are how they should be. So that's what I keep forgetting the word, and I'm not even gonna try and remember. And then some other you will have a phone. That is, we have a community phone. So during the day, the desk has it. Desk starts at 7:30 a.m. So desk has it in the morning, and one of the 2 people on who are on call for the night, they will get the phone. Whoever has the phone, the other person will probably do the log. That's normally how it works. At least that's how it worked in my community. So one person will have the phone, another person will do the log, and that's another thing. You will log whatever you see or whatever kind of interactions you've had with residents. So it has to be kind of detailed. I didn't really make mine that detailed because it's like sometimes, well, most nights that I was on call, nothing happened. It was absolutely nothing happening. So yeah, and there is weekend on calls. There will be 2 people on call from Friday night to Sunday night. So you'll be on call Friday starting at 7:30 p.m. all the way until Sunday 7:30 p.m. So you're done at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, and so you're stuck in the community for really like 3 days, which is, it sucks. I hate weekend on call, the worst. And one time I had it 2 weekends in a row, and I absolutely hated it. I did. So next I would say, like, I'm gonna talk about just being in the community and living in the community. So you're gonna have plenty of community events. You will have to do a few community events of your own, which could be anything that you come up with. So like one event that I did was a movie night, and nobody came, but yeah, I feel like COVID just really affected everything because residents really were not interactive. But I really don't. That's not their fault, and it's because there's so many restrictions and on what you can do and how you can do it. So it's like you can't blame them. It's just COVID was such an odd time. People weren't as interactive there, and it's harder to be interactive because of COVID. So yeah, there'll be plenty of events that your community will have, whether it's you or like a floor event, or if, like, it's a whole community event. Like, I know some events we had were like a painting event. We had like an event, like a tech kind of event. So you could come get like stickers for your computers, also like some cleaning supplies for your computer, and something else, like a little stylus and some chips. So quite a few people came to that, and that was pretty cool because that's really the only event I went to, because I was like, let me actually go to something because I really don't go anywhere. So yeah, I really stayed in my room a lot of the time. Yeah, or I was on campus. Like, those were the only two things I was doing, because none of my friends lived on campus, and I just didn't care to be on campus. It's like, none of my friends live here, so why am I here? Now for the moving out process. So because it was COVID, move out process, was like 2 weeks long. People were able to move out early, which was good because, the earlier you can get out, the better for later when there's a billion and one people trying to move out. So the few people that were moving out early, great. So I feel like it was such a different process. So we had to have residents schedule a time on when they wanted to move out. So we had a sheet on our door. They would sign up for a time to move out, and then at their time, I would go check their room, make sure everything's good. That's another thing. So when people move out, you gotta go check their room, make sure they're not leaving behind any clothes or any of their belongings, and you gotta make sure it's relatively clean. If not, then they're gonna have to clean, and that's no fun, especially when they've packed up everything. It's just like, to me, I was just like, okay, whatever, because everything's packed up. Like, I don't know what you expect anybody else to do. So yeah, move out was busy. So move in and move out, they're just very, very busy because it's multiple days, and it's moving in or moving out multiple people, trying to get everything situated, whether it's getting people the right key, or making sure the right key is there, or making sure, like, that, oh, this person lost their key, so we're gonna have to charge and make sure we put that in the system. It's just a lot. So you have to be ready for those two things, move in and move out. I feel like those are like the biggest things that you're gonna focus on when it's time for them. But for my overall experience, honestly, I did not like being an RA. It just, I felt like there were so many rules that I had to follow that I really did not care to follow. So, like, one thing I know is, like, you have to fill out a form if you were not going to sleep in the community. Why does it matter? Like, I really did not like that, because it's like, one, I sleep, oh God, I'd be here with my significant other. So of course I'm not about to be in my room by myself all the time. No, I'm not about to sleep all the time. The only time I really slept in my room was if I was on call. That's really the only time I slept in my room. I'm not even gonna cap. That is the only time I was really ever there. Any other time, I was not there. I was not there to sleep there. Another thing, grades. You have to have, I think, a 2.5 I think it was a 2.5 for the semester. The semester. I think you have to have a 2.5. No. Oh God, I look scared. Or a 2. I think you have to have a 2.8 to not have any issues. 2.5, you're on probation. Dumbest thing ever. And then a 2.0, you're fired. I'm pretty sure that was how it was, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I think certain GPAs you have for the semester, and mind, they didn't include your, like, if you did an academic forgiveness, they didn't include that. So I really did not like that because it was like I was on probation. Stupidest thing ever. It's like I'm passing my classes and I really don't understand why y'all care. 2.0, okay, cool. Fire me. But really, probation, like, I don't care to even, I just hated it. It was so dumb. And then it was like when I was on it, I couldn't even get in contact with the person I was supposed to get in contact. So it was just useless. And yeah, I didn't like it, not one bit. Another thing is like breaks, like fall break, winter break, spring break, all of those. Some RAs have to be there, so they will literally take away your break. And that's what I did not, I hated that. That made me hate the job even more. Like fall break, I got sick, so I couldn't even help. Winter break, I stayed for some of Thanksgiving break, but the community I'm in, we close our buildings for winter break, so I didn't even have to stay for winter break. But for spring break, I couldn't even stay home for long because I had to work, which was dumb. It's like, really, I want to have fun for spring break. Just like, y'all need to find something else, because that, like, it wasn't cool. It was not cool. I didn't volunteer either. There are people who are out here volunteering, and it's just like, why are you selecting people if they already have plans? Like, if they have plans, you're messing them up. So that's my thing. Is like, I already had plans to be home, do whatever I had planned, and I couldn't do that, and I had to cancel certain plans because I had to be there to be an RA. For why, I don't know, but I ooh, I hated that. That pissed me off so bad. I was so mad. Like, I hated it. Another thing is like extracurricular activities. So you have to get, if you want to do like extracurricular activities such as other clubs or whatnot, or have another job, you have to get that approved. So it's like, if they don't approve it, you can't do it. So one thing I did is I got 2 other jobs, and that worked out for me. Like, ain't nobody found out about my job. Well, I told people, like, I told a couple people that I knew just were cool, and they didn't like the job either. But yeah, like, I got 2 other jobs while I was working there, because one, it's like I only get paid every other week, and 2, I need to make more money, So yeah, I didn't bother filling anything out and trying to get anything approved, because it's like, if you deny me, I'm still gonna do what I want, because I need to make more money. How are you gonna deny me making more money, And it's like clubs. If people want to be in a club, like, let them be in a club. Like, people want to sit here and have fun and not just focus on academics. Like, clubs are supposed to be maybe their outlet or something. So it's like, if you deny that, then what are they supposed to do? So I just felt like the job was just, they just wanted us to focus on the job. I felt like sometimes the job came before academics, and that's not something I enjoyed, because first semester I struggled academically. I really struggled. Some of my classes were just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, but spring semester I did a lot better, but it was still like, oh, this needs to be done, this, y'all need to focus on this. And so it's just like, it kind of, to me, and I know some other people I worked with, they felt the same way. They felt as though the job came before the academics, which that should never ever be the case. It should always be academics before the job. So, and another thing is, some things, it would just be so slight, and it was just like you would get in trouble for really slight stuff, and it was just like, really, like, we'll have these what are they called? They're like not reviews. They rate you. It's like they're rating you. Evaluation. That's what it is. So, an evaluation. You're evaluated at the end of the semester. So, like, one thing that they put on mine was couldn't find anybody to take my shift. And it's like, I'm sick. So this is when I had COVID. So I had COVID back in October. So when I had COVID, I told them I had COVID. They were like, okay, we'll find people to cover your desk schedule. You just need to try and find people who are gonna cover your on calls. And it's just like, why should I even have to do that? Like, I'm sick. Like that shouldn't be my job. But I sat here, I texted people, I texted in the group chat like, hey, who can take my on-call shift this day, and I'll switch with you. I had one person, because I had a weekend on call and a Tuesday on call. So I was able to find somebody for my Tuesday on call, but I couldn't find anybody for my weekend on call. And I texted everybody, and everybody's like, no, I'm not able to, or I'm out of town, So I told them I can't find anybody for this on call, but I have somebody for this one. And they were like, okay. So it's just like, why should I have to put in all this extra work just to find somebody to fill my own call? Like, if you can find somebody to fill my desk hours, you can find somebody to do my own call. So I just felt like, really, that's what you added? Like, I couldn't find, nobody could take it. Nobody said they could take it. So what am I supposed to do about that? So that's one thing that they put in my evaluation, that I couldn't find somebody. But it's like, I asked everybody, so what am I supposed to do with that? So yeah, that's something that just irked my nerves. But there, of course, are some benefits, and I will get into that next. So the benefits, one benefit is that you get reduced room and board. So basically, your bill is reduced a little bit, not too crazy, but you also don't have to pay for a meal plan, which is fantastic because I already pay a lot of money to go here. So just having that reduced bill was nice. So that's another thing. What else? What are the other benefits? I feel like there's some more. I just can't think of them at the moment. I guess you get paid on top of it, but yeah, reduced room and board. You don't have to pay for a meal plan. You get paid on top of it. So yeah, those are some benefits of being an RA. But overall, that was great, but I couldn't do it again. It was just too much for me, and I just didn't enjoy it. But I know people who really enjoyed it and would go back many years, but me, no. One thing, it can also depend on the community you live in. Like, some communities, their CD could be not the best, and some communities have fantastic CDs. Some communities are run different. It just depends on who your CD is and how they want to run it, honestly. But it can be a lot at times, especially towards the beginning and end of each year. Each year, school year, with moving in and moving out. But overall, I feel like it's great experience to have under your belt, you know, with just being with all of these residents, you know, leading them, helping, being there for them whenever, helping them whatever with whatever they may need. I just feel like it's a great experience, but it's great to have something like that under your belt. But at the same time, it can be too demanding for students. If you have questions, put it in the comments down below. If you want to know more of what the process was like, of what my process was like, or somewhat of the process of people that I have seen come through the RA interview, then put that down below. If you have anything, put it down below. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.